Welcome to Natural Health Talk, your go-to podcast for all things related to holistic wellness, natural remedies, and living a balanced, healthy lifestyle. Be sure to visit our sponsor, topnaturalhealth.com, for special promo code pricing on all of the products mentioned in our episodes.
Okay, so today we're diving into something I think we can all relate to, those little lines around our eyes, crow's feet.
Yeah, they're like a rite of passage.
Right. But we're going to see if maybe they don't have to be. We're checking out this guide from topnaturalhealth.com, and they're all about tackling crow's feet naturally.
And I have to say, this guide really stood out to me because it's not just about skincare. It digs into what causes those wrinkles in the first place, kind of takes a more holistic view.
Love that, getting to the root of the issue. So before we get into solutions, let's break it down. What actually causes crow's feet?
Well, it all starts with collagen and elastin. Those are the proteins that basically hold our skin together, give it that structure and that bounce. Problem is, as we get older, our bodies just don't produce as much of them.
And that's why we get wrinkles, basically.
Exactly, especially around our eyes. The skin there is already thinner, more delicate, so it shows those signs of aging first.
Makes sense. But it's not just age, right? I swear my smile lines are getting more noticeable, and it's not like I'm complaining about laughing more.
You're hitting on something key. It's those repeated facial movements that really make a difference, and smiling is definitely one of them, but also squinting, frowning, even just talking. Each time you make an expression, it's like you're creating a little crease in your skin.
Okay, I'm wincing just thinking about it.
And then without enough collagen and elastin to kind of bounce back, those creases, well, they become more permanent, etched into the skin's surface over time.
Like folding a piece of paper over and over, eventually the fold never really goes away.
Perfect analogy. And beyond expressions, there are other things that come into play. Lifestyle factors that this guide really emphasizes. Dehydration is a big one, especially around our eyes, because remember that skin is thinner, more prone to drying out.
So all those reminders to drink 8 glasses of water a day, it's actually about wrinkles. I knew there was a reason I could never keep up.
Well, it definitely contributes to overall skin health, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And here's another one most people don't realize, lack of sleep. When we're sleep deprived, our bodies produce more cortisol, that stress hormone.
No, not cortisol.
Right. And cortisol actually breaks down collagen.
So beauty sleep isn't a myth, it's science. But hold on, are you saying that just by living our lives, smiling, squinting at our phones, not always getting enough sleep, we're basically contributing to crow's feet?
In a nutshell, yeah. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom.
Okay, so it's not all doom and gloom. That's good, because I was starting to get a little worried there for a second. But knowing all this is actually kind of motivating. If we know what causes it, maybe we can do something about it, right? What does the guide say? What can we do?
Well, prevention is key, and it really comes down to, building consistent habits.
Makes sense.
It's not about quick fixes. It's about making small, sustainable changes.
Okay, so what are some of those must-do habits we should be focusing on?
This guide is a huge proponent of daily sunscreen use. And they're not just talking about when you're at the beach. Even on cloudy days, those UV rays are still doing damage, breaking down our collagen and elastin.
Oh, wow. I feel like I'm finally understanding why dermatologists are always on my case about sunscreen.
Yeah. Think of it as protecting your investment. You wouldn't leave your car out in the sun without a cover, would you?
True.
Sunscreen is like a protective barrier for your skin.
Okay, sunscreen. Got it. What about hydration? We were talking earlier about how dryness can really make those fine lines more prominent.
Absolutely. Hydration is huge. And it's kind of a two-part thing. Drinking enough water throughout the day is super important. But we also need to hydrate our skin topically. That's where a good eye cream comes in.
So it's not just another product they're trying to sell us. There's actually a reason to use eye cream.
Exactly. The skin around our eyes is so delicate that using a regular moisturizer can actually be too harsh. So eye creams are formulated with specific ingredients that target those fine lines and wrinkles without irritating the skin.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so we're wearing sunscreen every day. We're moisturizing. What about sleep? We were talking about how important that is. Do we need to get super strict with a bedtime routine?
The guide recommends aiming for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night.
Oh man, easier said than done, right?
I know.
Yeah.
But even just establishing a calming bedtime routine can make a world of difference.
Okay, so what does a good bedtime routine look like?
It's really about signaling to your body that it's time to wind down. So putting away your screens at least an hour before bed, that can help reduce mental stimulation. Taking a warm bath, listening to some calming music, maybe even some light stretching.
I'm relaxed just thinking about it. Okay, so we've got sunscreen, hydration, sleep. Anything else we can do to fight those crow's feet? Or is that it?
Well, we can't forget about diet. You know what they say, you are what you eat, and that applies to our skin too.
Okay, so what should we be putting on our plates? What are the best foods for preventing wrinkles? So we're talking about diet and crow's feet. Is it really as simple as just like eating our fruits and veggies?
Well, it's a little more nuanced than that. This guide really zeroes in on antioxidants.
Okay.
Those are the powerhouses that fight free radical damage. So basically, free radicals are these unstable molecules that damage our cells. And that damage, it contributes to aging, including those crow's feet.
Okay, so antioxidants are like what? Little warriors fighting off the damage?
Exactly. And you'll find them in, brightly colored fruits and vegetables,
Makes sense.
berries, leafy greens, even dark chocolate.
Oh, well, now you're speaking my language.
Right. They're packed with vitamin C and E, which are essential for collagen production.
Okay, so we're loading up on the good stuff. Anything we should be avoiding? Besides those late night scrolling sessions, of course.
You read my mind. The guide specifically calls out sugar as a culprit for, premature aging.
Really?
Yeah, excess sugar can actually damage collagen through this process called glycation.
Glycation, that sounds kind of intense. What is that?
Basically, sugar molecules attach themselves to collagen fibers, and it's like they make them stiff and inflexible.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's like replacing the springs in your mattress with, rusty old coils.
Okay, that is a visual, I'm not going to lie.
Right.
So cutting back on sugar is like giving our collagen a fighting chance?
Exactly. And it's not just about, the obvious sugary treats. We're talking processed foods, sugary drinks, even some things that seem healthy, like granola bars, can be loaded with hidden sugars.
Wow. It's amazing how much we can impact our skin from the inside out. But let's switch gears for a second. We've talked a lot about prevention, but what about those of us who are already seeing those fine lines? Are there natural remedies that can help?
Absolutely. This guide is full of them. And the best part is a lot of them are probably things you already have in your kitchen.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. Let's hear it. What are some of these DIY wrinkle busters?
One of the simplest and most effective is aloe vera.
Okay.
It's so soothing, so hydrating. It's got those natural humectants, which basically draw moisture to the skin. And it's loaded with antioxidants, and it can even stimulate collagen production.
So we're talking about just applying the gel straight to our skin.
Exactly. The guide suggests applying a thin layer around the eyes before bed, like a natural little eye mask.
Ooh, I like that. What about cucumbers? I feel like I've always seen those in those classic spa photos. Do those slices actually do anything?
It's not just a spa gimmick. They really work.
Okay.
Cucumbers are super hydrating, and they contain ascorbic acid, which can help reduce puffiness. Plus, they have this ingredient called caffeic acid. It's a natural antioxidant that can help protect the skin from sun damage.
Who knew cucumbers had so many tricks up their sleeves? Any other remedies we should know about?
Green tea is another great one, full of antioxidants called catechins, and they help protect against those free radicals we talked about. Plus, the caffeine in green tea can actually help constrict blood vessels, so it can reduce puffiness and dark circles.
Interesting. So we can sip our green tea and apply it topically for double the benefits.
Exactly. The guide recommends steeping the tea bags, and then you let them cool off in the fridge, and then you just place them over your eyes for 10 minutes.
I am adding that to my to-do list. So we've covered some great at-home remedies, but what if you're looking for something a little more, advanced? What does the guide say about professional treatments?
They do mention some more intensive natural treatments that can be really effective for more noticeable wrinkles, but they emphasize that these are best left to the pros.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what are some of those treatments that, we could talk to a dermatologist about?
One that's becoming really popular is microneedling.
Okay.
It sounds a little scary, but it actually works really well. It uses tiny needles to create micro injuries in the skin, and those controlled injuries actually stimulate collagen and elastin production.
So it's like tricking our skin into thinking it needs to repair itself.
Exactly.
Wow.
And another treatment that's getting a lot of buzz is LED light therapy, specifically red light therapy.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, studies show it can penetrate deep into the skin, stimulate collagen, and reduce inflammation.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So are there other treatments out there?
They briefly mention chemical peels,
Okay.
but they emphasize that for the eye area, you really want to stick with gentle fruit acid peels.
Okay.
Those can exfoliate dead skin cells and promote cell turnover, which gives you, a brighter, smoother complexion.
Wow, so many options out there, from like DIY remedies to professional treatments. It's pretty cool to know that we have choices when it comes to our skin.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about this guide from topnaturalhealth.com. It really highlights that aging gracefully is within our control. It's about understanding our bodies and being proactive.
Love that. Well, this deep dive has been super insightful, and I feel like I have a whole arsenal of tools to combat those crow's feet now. If you're listening and you're as intrigued as I am, make sure to check out topnaturalhealth.com. They've got a special promo code just for our listeners. All the details are in the show notes.
And remember, aging is a natural process. These are just ways to feel confident in your own skin.
Well said. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to make a cucumber eye mask and brew a pot of green tea. Until next time, stay curious.
From all of us here at Natural Health Talk, thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe and don't forget to visit our sponsor, topnaturalhealth.com, for special promo code pricing on all of the products mentioned in this episode.